I am Crystal Raphael, and I'm here with Decapolis Community Development Center and EFI Nigeria as we implement these practices and principles that we learned at Foundations for Farming. We're here at our demonstration plot here at Hope Eden in Kuje, FCT Abuja, and we are expanding our demonstration plots to show different types of crops that can be grown in regenerative agriculture. Here we have just started planting sunflower, and you can see that they're starting to sprout. We've got several different varieties, so we're testing out to see what is going to work. These are planted similarly to corn and are also heavy feeders like corn too. So we have to make sure they get lots of good compost to get started. Over here we have our groundnut or peanut plot, and you can see it's nice and full. It's got a deep green color on them. Come back in here soon and we'll just hand pick the few weeds that are still remaining in there. But as you can see, the weeds are almost non-existent because we are coming in here on a daily basis. And also because we've got this mulch in here, which helps to keep down the prevalence of the weeds. Then our next one over here, we have cassava, and you can see this is growing very well. It's 3 months old, and it's almost as tall as me. If you look in here, they're growing very, very well. We've even got some taller ones down here. And I am just under 5 foot. So our tallest ones here are about 5 foot, and the rest are going to be passing me soon. And again, you see that there is almost zero prevalence of weeds. And this is again because of the use of a mulch cover, as well as being in the farm on an almost daily basis to handpick any of the small weeds that do pop up. After our cassava plots, then we have yam. Over here is our yam. And again, one thing you will notice is that there are no heaps. Traditionally, you would create big mounds, which are called heaps, to plant the yam in, but ours are planted directly into the soil. And then we have these poles here for the vines to climb up. And they're looking very nice and healthy and green. And again, little to no weed presence in the farm. And again, you'll see the mulch cover, and you'll see if you do notice some small weeds here and there, you'll notice that those are in the places where there is less of a mulch cover. So keeping mulch on your field year round helps to keep the weeds down, and then what's there is able to easily be handpicked out of the farm. Then we have our demonstration from Budza plots of maize. This is the first year we are planting on this soil. It is, as you can see, the crops are nice and even, and they are in straight rows. You will see some of them are not looking quite as healthy as we would like. But what we have discovered is that this soil that we're planting on has been planted on for decades in using wrong practices, so it is very dead. There's almost no nitrogen or phosphorus in the soil at all. So you can see here the reddish and purplish color on the leaves. That shows you there is a lack of phosphorus in this soil. The yellowing is from a lack of nitrogen. And so the use of compost in each of the planting stations helps to add those things back into the soil. So as much as we would like to see this even healthier and stronger, what we've learned is that in the past years when people have grown maize on this field, it doesn't get any higher than about 2 feet. And yeah, just about right here. Most of the maize that has been grown on this soil for the past few years doesn't get any higher than this and barely produces any cobs. But as you can see, we are already over 8 feet on even some of our smaller ones. And we've got some nice big cobs growing here that are almost as long as my forearm. So you can see that the soil is already starting to be renewed. And regeneration is a process. So we don't expect 100% the first year because we've spent lots of years destroying the soil. It's going to take a few to fully build it back. But you can see that there's already positive results from what we have done so far in just one season of planting. Behind us here, we are setting up what is called a well-watered garden. This is a 6 meter by 6 meter plot that can easily be planted any time of the year because it can be hand watered. You don't have to depend on the rains. This can be done in front of your home, in front of a church, and to give you a little bit of extra food throughout the year. And so we are setting up our 6 meter by 6 meter that will also be planted with maize. And then we have, these are our vegetable beds, which we've just added. They are 1.1 meter by 6 meters. Here we've actually started planting some lettuce seedlings. We came this morning to give them some water. You can see we've got a nice mulch cover so that there won't be weeds to compete with. We have them open at each planting station to allow the leaves to mature and spring up before we cover those stations a little bit more with some mulch as well. And these strings that you see here, these were to help us get our evenly spaced rows in between each row and make sure we have nice straight lines and things are done at standard. We have 3 additional vegetable beds, which we will be planting other crops in. Some onions, carrots, cabbage, broccoli, garlic, various crops, and those can be rotated. And so we will continue building up these vegetable gardens. Again, you can see the mulching. In between the vegetable gardens, we just have a footpath, which allows one for working on the beds and harvesting from the beds. And it also allows us to have our students walk through here and be able to see and experience hands-on in the learning. After our vegetable garden, we kind of have a barren area. It's not barren, but we are getting it prepared so that we will have another well-watered garden spot. This spot will be for training purposes where our students will be able to hands-on learn how to mark it out, how to measure, how to dig the planting stations, and how to plant the seeds. And then, of course, we've got to leave a little bit of land that has some grass and weeds on it so that have a spot for teaching our students how to clear the land without using chemicals or brush burning in order to prepare for planting. So this area will also be used for that. And then up here we have another plot, and this plot we are going to be planting ginger on. We are looking at ginger because this is a major crop, especially in the north, and a number of our trainees who are even involved in ginger farming have asked us a lot of questions on how they can use these processes to increase their yields in their ginger farms. So since that is a need that our students are coming to us with, we want to set up a demonstration plot so that they can see how that can work and the results that they can get from that. So this one will be ginger. So thank you for taking a walk with us around our demonstration plots. And we just thank all of you for your inputs and your efforts, your support and encouragement as we continue with this process in regenerating the soil and addressing food insecurity in Nigeria, and helping people to be empowered to feed their families and improve their lives while we share Christ.